Hello, it's Charles with Uber Eats. Today is Wednesday, the 18th of February, 2026, and I am blessed and grateful that I received the precious gift of tomorrow with God's wake-up call this morning, and I got to see another day here in beautiful, sunny, warm Tampa, Florida. And you woke up this morning after receiving God's wake-up call. And you also received that precious gift of tomorrow, and you got to see another day here on earth. So we are both blessed, and I am blessed and grateful for receiving that precious gift of tomorrow, because I went to sleep last night in the camper, not being promised another day here on earth and enjoying all the delightful, wonderful things I've experienced in Tampa, Florida since moving here in the beginning of September last year. So I am blessed and grateful for everything the good Lord has given me. And I'm blessed to have such a wonderful example of how we should live our lives and how we should treat others. And that example is Jesus Christ. I'm thankful for having Jesus Christ in my life. He has turned my life around just like God has turned my life around. God is good, and so is Jesus Christ. God is good always and always. Amen. I'm sitting up at my usual pump at the Circle K, where I see that gas has gone up considerably this morning. Big jump in gas. And gas has went up a few cents in the state of Florida, but it stayed the same nationwide. The average price of gas has stayed the same since yesterday morning, according to AAA and Gas Buddy. I did neglect to get my Powerball ticket for tonight's drawing, so I need to do that. This is my last opportunity to do that before the drawing tonight. The next drawing of the Powerball is tonight, the 18th of February. So I'm as soon as I get done with my breakfast at the McDonald's, I'll run back across here and buy a Powerball ticket from the lady in there. I've been inside already to the Circle K, and I got my free cup of ice in my Starbucks cup. It's all crushed ice. You see that? Free ice. And this morning, I'm getting back to a normal level of these wild berries, but I grabbed wild berry tea this morning. The wild berry tea Monster Rehab, Revive, Refresh, Recover. That's the flavor I'm drinking this morning. And this can that's printing on is really small for some reason, but I can make it out still. It says K2507. And with today being the 18th of February, and K is the 11th letter of the alphabet, I believe. Yeah, it's the 11th letter. So this can was made November the 7th of last year. So you've got December, January, February. That's 3 months. This can is 3 months and 11 days old, I believe. So it's a very fresh can of this Monster Rehab. I'm going to go ahead and get it cracked open here. Some of it sprayed on my center console here. I'm going to need to wipe it up before it dries. That's not too bad. Just a little spray. There, I got her. Oh, that's good stuff. See how it tastes cold. Can with ice. See if it's any good. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Well, the time right now is 4:11 a.m. and according to weather-atlas.com, I can expect to see the sun to rise today at 7:03 a.m. So that's 2 hours, 52 minutes from now. And today, Tampa will enjoy over 11 hours and 21 minutes of daylight, because that website says the sun will set this evening at 6:24 p.m. The sun will set at 6:24 p.m. today, this 18th of February, 2026. I mentioned gas prices going up significantly at this pump. Yesterday at this Circle K, the gas price was at $2.65. and that was a drop from 4 cents from the day before. Well, that's completely changed, which I can't be too surprised. Gas prices can't just continually stay the same or fall. They're going to have fluctuations back and forth. But what is remarkable about this is that it seems to me gas prices gradually tick down a few cents here, 4 cents here, 2 cents here. But when it goes up, it's not the same. It's a huge jump in the other direction instead of like gradually going up. That's what I've experienced anyway here in Tampa, Florida. But gas price today at the Circle K is at $2.89. That's a jump of 24 cents from yesterday. And according to AAA and Gas Buddy, the national price of gas is still the same from yesterday. It's at $2.92, but the Florida state average has went up 4 cents from yesterday. It's now at $2.86. So this Circle K is higher than the Florida state average by 3 cents, but it's cheaper than the national average by 3 cents. So all those figures are relatively the same. They're around $2.89, $2.92, $2.86. So that's another unusual circumstance, is that the gas prices are pretty much the same here at the Circle K as they are nationwide and over the whole state of Florida, the average price. I also checked out what weather-atlas.com had to say about the weather. And this is what it said. It said, the website says, occasional clouds will pass by on Wednesday, but expect bright spells in the early afternoon and through the evening. There's a chance of rain, a slight chance of rain at 9%. Winds will be gentle out of the southwest at 11 miles an hour, and humidity will be a typical 70% in Tampa Bay today. Expect a high of 81 and a low of 63. I also asked Meta AI what weather I could expect today in Tampa, and it responded this way. Tomorrow's weather is, this is an abbreviated summary of what Meta AI had to say. It said, tomorrow's weather, I posed the question yesterday, so it responded this way. Tomorrow's weather is looking partly cloudy with a high of 80, which is very close to what weather-atlas.com had to say, and a low of 63. That's exactly what weather-atlas.com said. 10% chance of rain and winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. I also caught Amy Snyder on the radio, and this was her forecast for today. Well, I should say for Tuesday, this is her forecast for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. She did that thing again where she just groups a bunch of days together. I don't like that. Even if weather is going to be fairly similar or even the same, you can deliver, you can put your own take on the weather and your own opinion on the weather, and whether it's going to be a warmer day, a drier day, a windier day. You shouldn't be just saying the weather's going to be same, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or even over the weekend. That's a lazy approach to delivering the weather, and I don't like it when she does that. I don't know why she did it yesterday. She's going to be delivering the weather again today, so it doesn't make sense to me for her to say it that way. But that's how she said it. She said, Amy Snyder is calling for a high of 81 degrees and a low of 65 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, if that ends up being true, I'll take all that back, but I find it hard to believe that the weather's going to be we're going to have the same high temperature and low temperature 3 days in a row. That can't be. That's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. She said sunny, clear skies, and even warmer over the weekend, she said. That was Amy Snyder on FLZ 93.3. And then I only went to one YouTube page, Fox 13 Tampa Bay. Meteorologist Dave Osterberg was on there. And Dave said we can expect after the cold, we can expect a cold front to pass through this coming Sunday, but not much of a cool down is expected, or rain for that matter. Not much cool. It's not going to cool things off or bring us much rain in Tampa, Florida, that cold front on Sunday. He said, Monday's high is still expected to be 62 degrees even after the cold front passes through next week. But for today, Dave said we can expect a high of 79 and a low of 62 and sunny skies, Dave Osterberg said. I also went on to my Uber Eats app this morning to find out if I'd gotten any upvotes and how my service was for yesterday. And it looks like I pleased some of my customers according to my numbers. My customer satisfaction score yesterday was at 99%. It's still 99% this morning. My canceled percent is still at 0. Acceptance score was 86% yesterday. I accepted 86% of the orders that came through the app over the course of doing Monday's business. But after Tuesday's business, I accepted 84% of the orders. So I accepted slightly less as a percentage of the orders that came through the app. I didn't accept as many orders as I had done Monday. And then my on-time score Tuesday was 94%. Monday's business, I was arriving at stores and customers' homes on time 94% of the time. But that was the same yesterday. I arrived at stores and customers' homes on time 94% of the time yesterday, Tuesday. So those are all actually very fantastic numbers and good numbers to maintain. If I could improve on anything, I would want to improve on my customer satisfaction score. I want to get it back up to 100%, keeping 100% of my customers happy. And looking at those 5 metrics, the friendly, my deliver with care, friendly, quick, and good communicator scores, it looks like I had some respondents there. My Tuesday, my deliver with care score, I had 652 people responded. No, 650 people responded that I delivered food to their door with great care. Yesterday, I had 2 people responded that I delivered food to their door with great care. So I have 2 upvotes there. My friendly score was 577. Now it's 578. So I had 1 person responded that I delivered food to their door in a friendly demeanor. Yesterday morning, my quick and efficient score was at 567 respondents. This morning, I'm showing 568. So I had 1 person respond that I was quick and efficient. My good communicator was 558. That went up 2 yesterday. I had 2 people say I was a good communicator. I used good communication skills in my service yesterday, so that's good. And my perfect handoff was at 538 after Monday's business, but after Tuesday's business, my perfect handoff is at 540. So I had 2 more people say I delivered food to their door with a perfect handoff, which is still an area of opportunity for me. That's where I score my lowest marks, typically. That's where I've gotten my least upvotes, I should say. So it looks like I'm counting my upvotes. I had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like I had 8 upvotes altogether yesterday. So just a fantastic day. And I made good money on the app. Enjoyed wonderful weather. So I am blessed and grateful for everything the good Lord has given me. On top of that, He's gotten me here to Tampa, Florida. He's put me in this time and place where I'm earning a fantastic living and building a wonderful Uber Eats business. So God is good. God is great. Always and always. I wrote down all my deliveries as I normally do. And it looks like I did... I did 11 trips, and one of which was a quadruple. So I might have had upwards of nearly 20 customers yesterday, 19 or 20 customers. That's just a guess, but I know I had at least 16 because there's a double in here too. I started out the day picking up a Starbucks order for Andy. Andy wanted Starbucks at the store at Fletcher and Telecom. Andy's fare for that Starbucks trip was $2, and he tipped me $5.79, so I made $7.79 on Andy's delivery. After dropping off Andy's Starbucks order, I went on to pick up trip number 2 was for Wendy. Wendy wanted Hardee's on Highway 92. Wendy was very generous. No, this was at quadruple. I noticed how big that tip was, and I knew that couldn't have all been from one customer. So this was the quadruple order. Wendy was the first part of that quadruple, that Hardee's order. Then I went on to pick up Martha's Family Restaurant for Darlene. Joe wanted Metro Diner on West Lumsden, and then Jessica also wanted Metro Diner on West Lumsden. So Jessica, Joe, Darlene, and Wendy, their fare was $12.42, and I got a tip from the 4 of them for nearly $15, $14.69. So I made $27.11 on that quadruple, and that most likely was my best paying trip of the day. It had to be. Yeah, I didn't have anything nearly that high, $27. So thank you so much, the 4 of you, for that very generous tip of nearly $15. And the fare, I should say, $12.42 was an excellent fare to earn for that quadruple. Thank you so much, Joe, Jessica, Darlene, and Wendy. I appreciate the 4 of you. And then after dropping off Jessica's Metro Diner order, I went on trip number 3 for Anthony. Anthony wanted McDonald's on Highway 301. His fare was $2, and he tipped me $5.15. I made $7.15 on that delivery. Thank you so much, Andy, for that. Oh, and then between Anthony's order and Dee's order, I went and picked up my laundry. I dropped off my laundry on Monday. I forgot to mention that. And I usually get my laundry done around the middle of the month. I try to get it done on the 15th of every month, and that worked out pretty well. Monday wasn't the 15th; it was the 16th. But I wanted to do it during the as early as I could in this week, and the banks were closed. I normally do that, my banking and my other errands also. I incorporate that in on my laundry day, but the banks were closed that day, so I went ahead and got my laundry done, and it was ready, of course, to be picked up a day later. So I picked it up between those 2 deliveries, and they did another fantastic job with my laundry, and I'll continue to drop off my laundry there as long as that's the case. I tipped them $5 also for doing such a fantastic job at the laundromat with my clothes, so I appreciate them. After picking up my laundry, I went on to do a trip number 4 for Dee. I was right back to that same McDonald's on Highway 301 for Dee. Dee's fare was $2, and she tipped me $4, so I made $6 on Dee's McDonald's order. Thank you for the McDonald's business and the tip of $4, Dee. I appreciate that. I made $6 on that delivery. Then I went on another single. Trip number 5 was for Holly. Holly wanted Panera Bread on Big Bend Road. Just like Dee's order, I earned a fare of $2 and the tip was $4, so I made $6 on Holly's delivery also. Thank you for the $4 tip, Holly. You didn't have to tip me, but you did, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you, Dee, Anthony, and Wendy, Darlene, Joe, and Jessica for all those tips and business. I appreciate all of you. After dropping off Holly's Panera Bread order from the Big Bend store, I went on trip number 6. This was for Lacey. Lacey wanted Hungry Greek restaurant on Paseo Al Mar. Lacey was very generous and tipped me $8.52, and her fare was $2, so I made $10.52 on a relatively easy delivery to do. That was a short trip, so thank you so much, Lacey, for the very generous tip, very kind tip of $8.52. I appreciate that. And this was a double. Trip number 7 was a double. Mike wanted Pizza Hut on Big Bend Road, and Amy wanted Fried Flavor on Big Bend Road. Amy and Mike, they tipped me $6 and their fare was $2.68. So I made $8.68 on a relatively easy double to do. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the business and the tips there, Amy and Mike. I appreciate the both of you. Thank you very much for that. And here goes another double. I went right back on another double again for trip number 8. Dorian wanted Moe's Southwest Grill on Highway 301, and Millie wanted Taco Bell on Highway 301. They were generous. Dorian and Millie were generous and gave me a $6 tip and a $2 fare, so I made $8 even on that trip. Thank you, Millie and Dorian, for the business and the tips there. I appreciate the both of you. Thank you so much. Trip number 9 was a triple. I knew I had a lot of doubles and triples in there, so I might have had more than 20 customers. I could probably go through and count them real quick. There's 1, 2, that makes 6, 7, 8, 9. Holly is number 9. 10, 11, 12. That's 14. There's 17. 18. Yeah, it looks like I had 19, so I was pretty close when I said 20. I had 19 customers by the looks of this. So after dropping off Millie's Taco Bell order, I went on a triple. Number 9 was a triple for Peter, Jay, and Jerome. Peter wanted Panda Express on Big Bend Road, and then Jay and Jerome both wanted Moe's Southwest Grill on Highway 301. That was my triple. I made a fare of $3.62, and they tipped me $6.62, so I made $10.24 on that triple. Thank you, Jay, Jerome, and Peter, for the generosity and the kindness of your tips and the business I picked up, the $3.62 fare. I appreciate the 3 of you. And then trip number 10 was from Buffalo Wild Wings on Big Bend Road for Carrie. I waited a long time on that order, but it paid off. I made an excellent tip off of Carrie's delivery, and that's why I wouldn't have taken the order. I knew going into that I was going to be waiting a long time at that particular Buffalo Wild Wings. They take a long time to get orders out. I don't know if their service is slow. I can't say that their service is slow when you go in there to eat or you go to pick up carryout, but for delivery drivers, they're always in there waiting a long time, and not just me. All the delivery drivers are always waiting a long time, and they complain when I'm in there. And I'm not necessarily complaining. I know what to expect now from that Buffalo Wild Wings, so I'm not disappointed. It's frustrating, I guess, is the best way to put it. But for picking up trip number 10 for Carrie, her Buffalo Wild Wings order, I made a fare of $2, and Carrie was very generous and kind and tipped me $13.28. So I made $15.28 for that order. So, which is good. It's a good earnings, and it took me upwards of 40 minutes to make that $15.28. So I'm not upset about it. It's just I don't know what takes them so long. They always have plenty of people working in the kitchen. I can see back in through their double doors from that perspective where the delivery drivers wait. So they have plenty of help there, and everything's set up to make chicken wings. So I don't know why it's so slow in there. They don't have a very big menu, in my opinion. So it's not like they're dealing with different types of orders and things. It's pretty much all chicken wings from what I can tell. But anyway, I waited a long time on that order, but it all paid off, and I'm not upset about it. It's just it's strange to me that it takes so long to get orders out of that Buffalo Wild Wings, and they're not all like that. I've been to some Buffalo Wild Wings places where the food is ready when I get there, or it's just a couple minutes wait, for them to pack it up. So It's just a circumstance with that particular location. But they must have good food there, because that particular Buffalo Wild Wings is always busy. So people must not be too upset by their service there. Maybe getting food out for for delivery drivers like myself, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash, that's not their top priority, and their priority and their service is leaning towards more serving their customers that go in there to eat. And maybe that's why their delivery driver, why they're slow to get orders out for the delivery drivers. That could be the case. Maybe, and that's why they still are getting a lot of business there. But in any event, after dropping off Carrie's order, I went on my last trip of the day was number 11 for Maryanne. I wouldn't have taken this order. It was only it was for $3.08, and I wouldn't have taken it, but I was near the end of my day, and I needed to get back to the camper to rest and relax and recuperate before getting some sleep. And this trip was going to take me, Maryanne, the drop-off location for Maryanne was fairly close to where I live, so it was a fantastic delivery for me to take. It more than paid me my gas to get back to the camper, and then some. And I was going that way anyway, so I picked up the order. I say all that for a purpose, because immediately after taking Maryanne's order, before I could even get to the Burger King, it was a Burger King on Highway 41, Maryanne is texting me, and I couldn't read the text right away because I was driving, but as soon as I get to the restaurant, she's explaining that she doesn't tip until the food is dropped off, because in her words, all the delivery drivers are just horrible, is what she said. She might not have used that word horrible, but that was her sentiment. That's what she was trying to get across, is that delivery drivers are horrible, and she doesn't tip until the food's dropped off. I guess so she can make a full assessment of the service. Well, I didn't care one way or the other. If I didn't want to take the order for $3.08, I wouldn't have picked it up, So I didn't know what to expect, whether she was going to tip me or not. Remain true to her word and be truthful and not a liar, but it turns out she was a liar. And I'm not hurt. My feelings aren't hurt by it, but she never ended up tipping me. I followed through with all her delivery instructions. It was a meet at door order, so I was supposed to meet her at the door, but I get there and she's not communicating with me. I said I text her that I'm on her street, and then I text her again that I'm walking up to her door so she could meet me there, and she never came. So, and another part of her delivery instructions was to not ring the bell or knock, so I didn't do that. I didn't know what to do. In fact, she wasn't answering my text messages, and I couldn't knock on her door to let her know I was there. So eventually, I called her phone, and then she texted me back that she was on the other line and just leave it there. So I left it there. Well, she never ended up tipping me like she had promised. So, which is fine. I wasn't expecting one thing or one way or the other. If I didn't want to take her order for $3.08, I wouldn't have picked it up. It was just the only reason I took it is because I was heading that way anyway, and it paid for my gas getting back to the camper. So I just don't understand why. I already had picked up your order, and I've already accepted the offer of $3.08. Why say that you're going to tip me? Why bother doing that? I've already got your food. It's one thing. I can kind of understand the whole tip baiting situation where you put in a tip of $5, and you put in a tip of $5 knowing that you're going to pull the tip away from the driver, and you're doing that just so they accept the order. I can understand that, but why promise a tip or say you're going to tip somebody after they've taken the order and then not do it? That doesn't make sense to me at all. That's even more bizarre than tip baiting. And I can't really even say that I was tip baited. It was just, I don't know what you call what she did yesterday. Just, it's a very odd behavior, and disordered thinking, if you ask me. But it is what it is, I guess. Well, I'm gonna get off here and go in and enjoy some fantastic breakfast at the McDonald's, and buy my lottery ticket afterwards. God bless you all, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye for now.